So, I wanted to talk about the George Floyd situation and what's been going on post-death. There was this African-American dude named George Floyd, and he was apprehended by a police officer, and he died underneath the guy's knee, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I didn't see the full footage. I just know that he passed away on the police officer, and the police officer was arrested with, like, 2 other dudes, if I'm not mistaken, for killing the man while he was apprehended. This sparked a influx of what I would say a chain reaction of catastrophes and riots and vandalization that's been happening around a few cities in the United States. Minneapolis has been turned into shit, and multiple places down in California has been turned into shit. I've even had places where I live, and I live in Connecticut, turns into shit, you know. I wouldn't say there was much vandalizing. I'd say, you know, it was more peaceful over here. People were actually, you know, protesting and not destroying shit, looting shit. It's stupid. A man's death should not be the reason why you should justify, you know, hurting someone else, taking shit that doesn't belong to you from a business, you know? If you want to protest, you go out there and you do it peacefully. Scream out your voice and don't try to steal, you know, and harm anybody. But no, that wasn't the fucking case. You know, this one guy dies, who's a colored man, to a white guy or someone who's lighter than him. It's a whole fucking issue. Everybody's up their ass and knees, they're walking proud and shit. Oh, okay. You know, excuse me for sounding a little bit heartless, but I see this shit too often. But you don't hear shit about a black dude killing a white guy, right? Unless it's a mass shooting, or unless it's somebody in power, or unless it's been caught on camera by everybody. The only time you see white on white crime is if it's on your local news, if it's a mass shooting, or if it's a white guy killing a black guy, right? Or a white guy killing a Spanish person, right? And that's more often what you see than a black dude burning down a church who's committing a terrorist act. You don't see that often unless it's in your local news. CNN ain't gonna show you that shit. And that shit happens more often. More than half the crimes people commit that are black men and women. But you don't see that often in the news. It's always the white guy is bad. Oh, the evil white man. Fuck Trump, this and that. That's what you see often now. Where's Trump when we need him now, huh? You never wanted him here. Everyone's talking shit about the guy. He's doing his job, right? And then here it is, some fucking bad apple on the apple tree of cops decides to be a dumbass and kill somebody, which was unneeded. You don't need to murder anybody. You don't need to fucking put them out of, you know, of their misery just because you think that shit's justified. He might have done it in an accident. I don't know. He might be saying, oh, I've done it in an accident. You don't know. I don't fucking know. I just know that what he did was just wrong. Because from what we know, the evidence is that he wrongfully murdered and intentfully murdered that man. It's not okay to murder anybody in any shape or form. It's wrong. You know? And protesting is a good way to show how you feel. But it's a little bit scummy when you're protesting when one colored man dies to someone who's lighter than him, but it's not the same thing around. I can't tell you how many protests I've seen when one guy dies to another who's lighter than him, and it's not the other way around. And that's totally fine, you know? Because at least I know the other side, they have sense. Because when I'm looking at black people, I see that they're rioting, they're hurting other people. Black Lives Matter, yes. Antifa, yes. And the KKK can fit in that shit too. The KKK, they're not innocent as well. They have a history, clearly. We all know this, right? We all went to school. But they don't teach you about where the KKK came from, which was founded by the Democrats. They're not going to tell you that, though. They don't tell you that in school. You have to research that up. You have to look that up yourself. They don't teach you that. They just say the KKK was founded to kill black people. And guess what? They're in the same party. Like, you know, the last video I made, you know, talking about low-tier God and calling him a nigger or whatever. Someone said, imagine saying the N-word and you're not even black. Dude, I'm tan. I'm not remotely black. And I don't think you have to be black to say a racial slur or word. And it doesn't make you racist either if you say it. I'm doing it intent to just say it because it's something that we used on a daily basis in my time and where I grew up on. And mind you, I also grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood. So that's a common norm of saying bro. And I think everyone who's living in a predominantly black neighborhood knows that's just your friendly term of saying bro. What's up, my nigga? Yeah, right? Simple. There's no fucking harm in that. I went to school with 80% of fucking children who were from everywhere, and they just said that shit. What is it to it? Nothing. It's a fucking word. Get over it. You know, I'm Asian, South American, European, right? No one gives a fuck about that. You know, they see me, they think, oh, he's tan, he's automatically black. That's where I grew up on. You know, black people are not going through no systemic racism. In fact, they have a fucking God complex. Just like the Puerto Ricans have a God complex. Just like the Asian have a God complex. And yes, white people are in that mix too. Every race has a fucking God complex. And it's fucking stupid. You know? Every time I'm with my mom or I sit down and I talk to her, it's like this, right? Oh, shit. You know, I had to sit down there and then my lawyer, you know, as white as she is, and then have to bring in race into this shit, right? She's talking about how one of her higher ups in the nursing industry, in the nursing field, is this small ass white lady telling her what to do. I'm like, yo, why are you worried about that? What does that have to do with anything? And I'm bringing this up because this is an example of people of any color has this fucking God complex of one another, right? When I talk about people racist, I call people ching and chong because I know I'm part chink. Right? I'm not saying that because I can say it because I'm this and that and that and this. Because I think because I'm a race of that same person, I can say that. I'm the same race as that person that I can say those things, you know? It doesn't work that way. You're living in the US. You have the freedom of speech. Right? You're allowed to say anything you fucking want. Regardless if it comes off as racist or not. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is the shit that we're seeing nowadays, where people was like, evil white men. What about them? Are they killing off multiple black men and women? Are they killing multiple Hispanics or Asians? No. It's just one bad apple of a cop to another, killing a bad apple of a citizen who wrongfully got murdered. You got people rioting and looting, vandalizing, destroying property that isn't theirs in expense of a man's death. Just to have an excuse to steal, just to have an excuse to riot. They're not doing this for the man. Just like Black Lives Matter was definitely not beating up on multiple white people on the streets of California because of one man's death. They did that shit just to have an excuse, just to beat up on white people, because they have pure hatred. Black people are the most racist motherfuckers I see nowadays. And that is fact. Next to Mexicans and Hispanics. And this all came down the truth hole once Trump hit office. Sadly. All I see is just, oh, the evil white man, you're white, you don't know how they feel. Well, we're US citizens. You're not going through anything. What the fuck are you going through, dude? You have MTV, you have BET, alright? You have J. Cole, you have Drake, alright? You have Nicki Minaj, alright? You have all these people who are people of color. They would define themselves as that. They're not going through anything, but they're talking about how oppressed they are. Dude, you make millions off of just making one fucking album that's dog shit, but you're okay with it because only teens are buying into your bullshit. That's totally fine. You're not going through anything. What the fuck are you going through? Why are you on social media posting about your fucking life? No one fucking cares. Because you're not going through shit other people are going through. Were you on the street before? Perhaps. Are you on the street now? No, you're not oppressed. The only people I see oppressed is sadly people who disagree with the narrative of the left. The left eating their own, canceling each other, and the left certainly canceling conservatives like me, who speaks out against it. Get your act together, people. You guys are not going through no systemic issue, no systemic racism. Women clearly don't get paid less than men. You know, that shit's still flying around to this day. My mom was talking about how black women don't get paid more than black men or some shit like that. Like I would totally believe that shit. No. It's fucking annoying. It's annoying. See, I was supposed to talk about more of the issue of what's going on, but I'm in an intentful rage mode right now because this is the shit I deal with on a daily basis. People acting like fucktards. People acting like they don't have sense in the world. They always want to point out about somebody's skin tone rather than their fucking character. Martin Luther King didn't sacrifice his fucking life so that people can be assholes towards one another to this fucking day. But people want to act like this is the fucking 50s, that we're still in segregation mode. Which is not the fucking case. You guys are fucking pathetic. You guys need to get your act together. If we're supposed to be US citizens, we need to act like it. Stop trying to take each other's freedom of speech away because somebody called you a fucking nigger or some shit like that. No one cares. My parents told me, in this world, no one's going to give a fuck about you. And it's only you should worry about and who you're going to be with at the end of time. Because you and your family is the only thing that matters. When you have kids, when you have a wife, you protect them, that's it. No one's going to give a fuck about how you feel at the end of the day. Speak your mind and then move on. Don't put your hands on somebody because you don't like what the fuck they have to say. Have a fucking backbone. Grow the fuck up. It's simple. I'm done talking. You guys see where I stand. You guys know where I stand politically. This is stupid. This is pathetic. I'm not remotely black. Not really black at all. I have black friends. I get into arguments with them about shit like this because they think it's cool. They think it's cute to steal and rob shit because something that Trump didn't take care of and a lighter cop killed a darker dude who was possibly doing shit he has no business. You never fucking know because all the evidence is never there. We can only go by what we see. I don't know what this man did. I just know that he got killed unjustly on the street. And it's wrong. But you don't have no fucking right to go destroy businesses because you want to sit there and take the man's death and expense to do shit that you want to do. You're pathetic. This ain't no black unity if black on black crimes happen on a daily fucking basis. Garbage. You guys are fucking garbage.